Hi there, Melissa here, and it's Friday again, and my nails are absolutely disgusting, so I just ask that you ignore the state of my nails. I'll be fixing them tomorrow. I just haven't had a chance with being really busy with work and kids, and I didn't want to miss out making a video just because of the state of my nails. So, moving along, it's time for another child-free Friday, and I have this photo. It's another wedding photo, and these are friends that I hadn't seen for many years, and um, it was really, really awesome that they came to our wedding. So I wanted to definitely scrap that memory for my informal wedding reception album. And what I pulled, it's not that, is I went through a whole lot of stash, and because, as many of you may or may not know, I just found out, well, I just announced that I made it onto the Clip Kits design team for 2015-2016. So really, really excited about that. And I'm wanting to make way and clear out some old stash. And I had a box that had really old paper bakery kit bits and pieces in it. And this is what was left. And so I wanted to use up, I mean, I could just put these bits in the recycling bin, but I actually want to use them. And sometimes when you're working with a kit, you get so sick of it that you just want to put it away. And that's what I did with these bits and pieces. But I'm determined today that I'm going to make them work on a layout. So I don't even know if they were from the same kit, who the manufacturers are. To me, it doesn't matter. They're just scraps that I want to use up, and that's my aim, is to use them with that photo. So I've got a feather, got a die cut that says Valentine. I think it's a Jenny Bolin, and I know this is not anything to do with Valentine's, but I'm sure I can tuck it under as a layering piece. I've got these basic grey hipster washi strips and shapes. I've got a glassine bag, and then all I'm adding for my stash is a crepe paper frame. I bought a new die that cuts ticket shape, so I'm going to use that. And as you can see, it's just a scrap because I've practiced my stamping on the back. And I've got a doily. And I wanted to do an A4 sized because, as I've said before, I like the variation that provides in my album. So I'm going to get started now and see how I get along. So enjoy watching. When I first thought about what I was going to do with this layout, I did think about putting some strips of the washi tape behind the photo and maybe putting some paper layers or strips in there as well, and probably stitching them all down with my sewing machine. But I started by just adhering my frame to my photo and trimmed out the excess, and then I thought about the placement of my photo, and typical for me, I immediately went for a right side positioning, and as you see, as I progress, you'll see that I actually force myself to push it over to the left side. So this bag is quite big and it's a bit damaged at the top, so I've just folded it down and then I've stapled it to secure it. And at this point I did think about keeping that little piece of washi on there, and I have no idea what was in this bag. It would have been some embellishments of some sort, and that washi tape would have been just there to secure them. So now I'm thinking about kind of a monochromatic background with the white and of the doily and the sort of off-white of the glassine bag, and then that frame is also kind of yellowy off-white. And so I thought that was a good starting point, and I realised that that blue washi tape is just too full on for this, the look that I'm going for. So at this point I still have no idea what I'm doing, and I didn't plan out any of this layout except I knew what I wanted to use. So now I'm sort of thinking, where do I want the feather to go? And I cut out, further on in this video, I'll cut out a whole heap of me playing with the feather because it's really not that interesting. So I'm tucking that little Valentine's card in behind, and Valentine is not really a word we use that much in our family, and we don't really acknowledge Valentine's Day that much. It's quite commercial, and I mean, we don't make a big deal out of it, put it that way. So the kids do. The kids will probably mention it, but anyway. So then I've got those circles, and I had cut them out with my Cuttlebug, and I have a Sizzix die that cuts, I think, 4 or 5
different shapes, not different shapes, different sized circles. And I loved that text paper. I remember using it with the kit. And so I'd gone through and just cut out a whole lot, and these are the ones I had left over. Now I'm deciding I don't want the triangular side of that paper, I want the other side, like the peach and white stripe. So I'm putting that down, and I don't want the strip to be as wide as it is, and I put my tape at the top because I know that I'm going to sew that down with my sewing machine. So here I'm just trimming off the excess, and I find that when I've got a whole lot of excess like that, and it's only an A4 size, it's easier just to get the trimmer out and trim that off. So here I'm just pulling out these strips, and I know I said they're washi, they're more like plastic tape, and they rip really easily, but they're a bit more firmer. Well, I can't really describe them. They're transparent, or maybe they're more opaque. They're transparent and opaque, and they rip, but they're firm. So anyway, that's my description of them. So here I'm just layering up a few of them, and I'm not wanting to waste anything really except the little bits that hang over the edge, and so I've used the bit that I ripped off, I've put it on the other side. So once again, I'm just trimming off the excess. And here I'm deciding which side I want my photo on. And I like the look of the doily going off the edge. So now I'm getting out my trusty plastic bag and some Heidi Swap Colour Shine, I think it's Coral, and I'm going to be doing the packaging technique again because I love it. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water to that Colour Shine from my water brush. And I've just unscrewed it because I don't want the colour of paint that might be on the brush to get into it. And so I'm just doing a couple of areas, and probably typical style for me is on the diagonal. And then I'm coming in with this darker pink, and it dries a little clearer. Oh, not clear. It dries not as vibrant as it looks here. And at this point, I know I've just got to stick my photo and the sort of package around it down. That's what I'm doing, and I've left it so I can tuck things in if I want to. And I've trimmed off the extra piece of doily. Probably should say a little bit about the photo. I know I did at the beginning, but I did my undergraduate degree in Christchurch at Lincoln University, and then I was only 20 when I finished that degree, and I couldn't get a job with what I'd studied. It was very environmental, and so my best friend at the time was going to Otago University, so in Dunedin, which is about 4 hours away south, and was going to be studying a master's in regional and resource planning. And I thought, I love geography, sounds like a really good idea, and we're such good friends, I might as well do that as well. So after the summer holidays, I moved to Dunedin and started studying my master's there. And after I'd finished my master's, while I was doing my master's, I was working in a cafe, and I met one of the girls, the one on the left. She worked at the cafe as well. We got on really, really well. And then at the end of the year, second year, maybe partway through my second year of my master's, I needed a new flat, and I'd gotten to know the other girl really, really well because she was friends with the girl on the left, and she'd come into the cafe, and they needed two flatmates, and so myself and another friend of theirs, we all moved in together out near the beach, and it was probably the best flat I've ever been in. It was just an absolute blast. We had such a good time. We were all into looking after the flat, and yeah, it was really awesome. So it was so great that they could come to the wedding. And back to the layout. Now I'm just going through that basic grade sheet and pulling out the circles, and I've stuck down the circles that I die cut, and now I've added the circles, a little bit like confetti really, just scattered around the page, the sticker circles, and there's some ring reinforcers, and in the middle it's like a donut really, like the donut hole, probably not meant to be used, but I've used those bits and not the ring reinforcers, and that's what the tiny little dots are. So my next challenge was how to incorporate this feather. I really just needed to get it on the layout, because if I wasn't going to use it here, I probably wouldn't use it at all. So I've just glued it to the side there with Pop Dot. And now I'm coming in with my title, and I'm calling it Uni Friends. And uni stands for university. I think you call it college in the States. We call it university. And I thought that was the perfect title for this layout. So I'm adding my journaling just to the right there. And that is pretty much the layout done, I think. I don't add any splatters or anything. I've already done that. And all I do off camera is add my sewing. I just sew a line on the top border and a line on the bottom, and that's mostly to keep that washi tape in position. I've just handwritten the date on the frame. So I'm really happy with how that one turned out. It's pretty simple, pretty quick. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll be back really soon. Have a great weekend.